The residual plot is the result of a model created using linear regression on a graphing calculator. A and B also represent data points. Which statement is true? All right, so if you don't understand linear models or residual plots, let me kind of show you what this is. This is supposed to represent a line of best fit. That line is supposed to represent a line of best fit. Okay, usually if I have a line of best fit, I have a couple dots living above, maybe one or two on, a couple dots living below, and we would say this line of best fit represents, a line that tells us where all these dots are headed. These dots are going to continue heading up and to the right. Well, if we take that blue line and drop it down that way and remove all these dots so that, not remove them, but change where these dots are so that now they're still kind of like hovering over these dots here. I'm trying to make the same dots. We would say, oh, okay, so like these dots live above the line, so those dots live above the line. These two dots live on the line, so those do too. Those 5 dots live below the line, blah, 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 blah. So a residual plot, when you have no obvious pattern, like we have here in this blue line, when the dots show no pattern, we have a good model, like I was in college. Hand model. Now, when we look at this, see how these dots go up and almost show like a negative quadratic, a negative parabola? Well, this is a pattern. This is a clear pattern. So this would be a bad model, like I was 1 year ago when I modeled for swim trunks. So, all right, so that's one thing that we know. It's a bad model. Great. What else? We have an A living up here above the residual plot, which means like maybe you would be like an A. Somewhere over here above the line would be an A. So we would call a point like A an overestimate of the actual prediction, an overestimate. Since B lives below, we would call it an underestimate. And looking at this without looking at the multiple choices that I created on my own, looks like we have enough information to hopefully get something. So, a linear model is appropriate for the data. Well, we said that this is a bad model because we see a clear pattern happening on the residual plot. So, is a linear model appropriate for the data? Absolutely not. So, that is not a true statement. The original data represents a negative correlation. Well, negative correlations are dots that go down and to the right following a linear pattern. We already said that linear is no good. So if linear is no good, how can it be a negative correlation? Well, I'll answer that for you. It can't. The point A is an overestimate of the model. Well, here's A. Here's the model. A is over the line, so A is an overestimate. That is a true statement, C. Now, if you're looking at this and saying, whoa, 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 I see that word right there. How can the answer be C? Watch the words. The model produces an underestimate of the point B. Our words are backwards. The model is up here. B is down there. So it's not saying B is an underestimate of the model. It's saying the model is an underestimate of B. It's backwards. The model lives above B. So the model overestimates B, not underestimates B. So since the wording is strange, we have to be extra, extra, extra careful. All right? So I don't like it, but you have no choice. I'm sorry. Hope this helps.